G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and of course we are here today to review AFL Fantasy for round 20, and after a very good Sunday, I would say, it wasn't really the best round, but a good Sunday from some of my players, I did score 2,318, which is a round rank of 21,894, so I did see a lot of people throughout the AFL Fantasy community get very high scores throughout the weekend, and a lot of them had to do with players like Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller with the 147, Nick Dacos with the 146, Bontempelli as well with the 146. There are a bunch of other ones as well. Now, I will cover the ones from my team first of all. Like I said, Wanganeen-Miller with the 147, Sheasel 111, Holmes 118, Whitfield 109, McKercher 104, Smith with the 132, Dawson 106, Nick Dacos as captain with the 146 as well, Zach Merritt 115, Gawn 123, Kennedy 101. So all of them I'm pretty happy with. Good scores from all of them. Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller, well, not really too much about the game here on the review for fantasy, but what a game from him, and what a second half, what a last quarter as well. I think I saw this was Supercoach. I think he scored in 30 seconds of football like 64 points or something. It was absolutely crazy for Supercoach watchers, but AFL Fantasy saw some great scores from him as well. 147, that's absolutely insane. And yeah, I mean, what a game from him. Thank God I brought him in a couple of weeks ago. I had to bring him in for Connor Rosie, so good decision from me in the end. There were a couple of lesser lights throughout the weekend. Tom Stewart only got 62, pretty disappointing. Andrew Brayshaw, 82. Tom Green, 72. Rowan Marshall probably would have wanted a little bit more from him, 88. Isaac Rankin, 64. Caleb Daniels, 60. Chad Warner, 70. So a couple of disappointing scores in the end, but overall a pretty happy week for me. But now let's move to my brother's team, and he was very, very cocky after Friday night when he had his vice captain on Marcus Bontempelli. He had him on 146, of course, 292. But the rest of the weekend didn't exactly go to plan for him, because you can see his score. He scored lower than me last week. He scored 2,309. So that's 9 points lower. So not that much of a difference. But if you heard him talk about how great he was throughout the week, throughout those first couple of days, you would have been smiling like me. Now, he did have a couple of really good scorers over the week. He had Zach Butters with the 115. He also had Brody Grundy with the 130. But overall, he had a lot of the lower scores from his players as well. He had Lockie Ash, lowest score of the year, I believe, for him was 65. Jordan Clark only got 68 in the Derby. Tom Liberatore only got 78. He did get subbed out in that game, though. Rory Laird only got 86 in the end. And then probably a couple of the players that I sort of had. He also had Liam McMahon in his team. He took out Taj Houghton, took 49 from McMahon. And, I mean, Houghton scored exactly the same, so not exactly a big difference there, but overall, I mean, he probably should have done a bit better, but I'm more than happy to have a little bit of a smile, have a little bit of a chuckle about the fact that he was so cocky about it throughout the week, and then had his team just capitulate itself. He did have a couple of players like me that on Sunday that were like very high scorers, but I think everyone had the likes of Dacos, Wanganeen-Miller. He had Bontempelli. I didn't have Bontempelli. I had a couple of other players like shine out compared to his. But let's move to the trades for the week, of course. So my trades at this stage are going to be Johnson out for Buzzlinger and Stewart out for Josh Dunkley. Now, Johnson at this point, he's cashed out. Probably should have got rid of him a few weeks ago. He's dropping so much in money. So, unfortunately, I didn't get rid of him earlier, but I've got Buzzlinger at this stage. I think he will stay in for the Dogs the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Get up a little bit more. Maybe a player that I can get rid of in the last couple of weeks. And Tom Stewart, look, he may score well for the rest of the year, and I'll just be a little bit unlucky. But the fact is, he's on 814 right now. He got injured 2 weeks ago. Last week, he only got 62. He may well score very well from here, but 814 in price. I think it's about time to get rid of him. He's going to have to score a very big score in the next couple of weeks to have his price actually increase. So I'm more than happy to get rid of him. Swap Tom McCarthy into defense, and then I'm going to get Josh Dunkley. That may change. I did look at a couple of his scores throughout the last 3 weeks. He scored brilliantly, Dunkley, but a lot of them are to do with his tackles. So at the MCG against Collingwood this week, I could see a world where he has a lot of tackles as well, like 10 plus, but he's probably going to have to hit that mark for him to have an actual chance of getting a very, very good score, which I do kind of need right now. Now, my brother's trades for the week at this stage are Johnson out for Camperali. That's probably just a placeholder, and he's got rid of Liddy for Jai Simpkin in his forward line. Now, he has told me the reason why he's got Jai Simpkin is he's the best forward out of anyone that he could get from going into finals, because he can't have Houghton in his team. He's playing in a different league, and he needs a forward to like take over Taj Houghton. So I understand that, but but Jai Simpkin, bro, Jack, seriously, just Jai Simpkin of all players. Anyway, look, who knows? He may respond this week. They've got St Kilda, so maybe a good score could be coming. But yeah, it is very interesting. He's obviously going for the league, for his league, not so much on the channels competition, which he should be looking at a lot more, because right now, if you're looking at the league, we'll first start with the top 10, of course, for the channel. We do have the Cheetah Cubs in top spot, continues to hold that top spot, leads by nearly 200 points on the Welshman. Third spot is Delusional Fools, who's a little bit off the pace of them two guys. Those two are probably going to be fighting it out for top spot in the league as well. Len Never Pretends is in fourth spot. Fifth is Naders Nippers. Not really much movement in the top 10 this week. Knick Knack Paddywhack did jump into sixth spot, though. Good to see. Tex Wonkers in seventh. We got Goonaville in eighth. X-Men in ninth. And Wizards of Bontsville in 10th spot. So the top 10 are pretty well set at this stage. Not much movement in the last few weeks there. But looking down the line at me and my brother, where we are on the ladder, we're around mid-table. My brother has dropped from 40, I think he was 40th last week. He's dropped down to 42nd, and I have dropped down to 45th. I was in 43rd last week, but a couple of you guys are scoring really well. You can see there that Neil before Bullen scored 2,480. That's a very good score. DeMaster's got 2,410. A couple of players didn't do too well. The Swans Rules 2008, not the greatest. 2,140. I don't know how he would have done that. That's not a very good score at all. But looking at me and my brother, he is only less than 100 points in front now. He's 97 points in front of me at this stage, and between me and him, me and Peach Eagles, who was just in front of him, we are 95 points the difference. So there is 95 points splitting 41st and 45th. I'd like to finish in the top 40. That's about not even 100. It's only not even 200 points. Not even 200 points that I could jump to 39th. So that would be nice. Going to be tough though. At this stage, probably getting rid of those last couple of rookies that I've had to bring in throughout the last few weeks or months. So we're not rookies, but players that are like mid-price that have like had good form, like Tom Stewart, like Tom McCarthy. Did score well in the Derby though, so he could probably stay an extra week or two. But at this stage, it's probably him, Chera, Caleb Daniel, and Isaac Rankin that I'm really looking to probably move on in the next 4 weeks towards the end of the season and hopefully jump up. But at this stage, those are my trades. That's my team going into the next week, guys. So make sure to let me know down below your trades going into AFL Fantasy. If you're in an AFL Fantasy League, if you are in our competition, make sure to let me know. But for now, catch you all in the next one.